By the way, I'm with you to this extent. I stopped watching the Today Show because Meredith Vieira can't make eye contact with the camera. That's all. That's the only reason. She does it. She looks up. They have her focusing on some high lens or something. So whenever you watch her, she's looking up there. Matt Lauer looks right into the camera. What's the one with the dark hair? The woman. Ann Curry. She gets right into the camera. Katie Couric, when she first went on the news, she looked up. Now she looks at the camera. I actually switched stations after watching for years and years and years because of that. So I get why you were wanting them to look at you. Yeah.
Well, I didn't know if that was part of the audience.
No, you were not the audience. Okay, could you say it so other people can hear?
Yes. This is the requirement as an application for graduation commission. And why is it a legal part of
Her name is Adele Bovard. I'll tell you all the principals' names, but and Jen Watervine would be somebody to ask about that. We have had a number of people say that there should be a requirement. Public speaking should be a graduation requirement. There are a lot of people who have expressed that. Hasn't happened so far.
but it's not.
A little louder, please. Are you taking notes, Mr. Waltman?
Because this happens every year. My concerns are because we're going to do it again.
It's not, I mean, they do presentations in social studies class, they've done presentations in my class. It's not like the first time they've been in front of a
Okay, but
class.
we're being told to adjust our standards because the stuff is going to be presented.
No, it hasn't been. And most of the other classes that they do it in, they're concerned more about content than delivery, to be frank. They are not speech delivery people. Okay? And so they care about the content and the organization and the accuracy of the answers and so on and so forth. That's right. I'm with you.
Not just that, the four components of English curriculum has always been reading, writing, listening,
Speaking and listening.
speaking.
But that doesn't mean speaking is given that much attention to. In the United States for many years, we have reversed the situation of speaking and writing, for instance. Most of our lives, we will spend 90% between those two skills. 90% of our lives will be speaking, 10% writing. In American public school, it's reversed. We spend 90% stressing writing and 10% on speech. Yes?
Is the class ever closed, like full?
Yes.
Oh, is it?
Public speaking?
Yeah. Or I mean, anybody who wants to take it can take it. I mean,
What?
anyone who wants to take it can
Yes,
take
they
it.
can.
There's lots
Yes,
of
they can.
opportunities for them.
The class sizes have ranged from as low as 10 to as high as 24. And it is an elective for 9 through 12. But they don't get English credit for it. They get elective credit for it. All right, we would, I don't want to keep you later. So we're going to do one more. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
We'll do one more full one. And then if we have time, I would like to have you see, people are always saying, can we see one that is like more average? Zach's is above average. This isn't the best necessarily that you would see, but he's definitely above average. Okay? And so if we have time, I'd like you to see, because the third speaker that I have for you does have a compelling introduction, so you can see what one looks like, even if you can't see the whole rest of the speech. And what's particularly inspiring to me is that this is a girl who, at the beginning of the course, I can't say she spoke in a whisper, but she was very reluctant to talk, and she spoke in a really tiny voice. And if you asked her to get up and do something, you could tell it was a real effort and kind of a strain to do it. And at the end, she just was right there, and it was just a wonderful thing to see. Not something that you would know from watching it, but that she came up with a compelling intro is very special to me. Okay, so we're going to watch another one right now, and this is Rachel. Okay, Rachel.
Many people want to lose weight, but don't really have the motivation or skills to do this. All the women look in mirrors saying that they want to change this, change that, but they really don't know where to start, and they're always like, oh, I don't have time to do this is too much work. All the women look in mirrors saying that they want to. Many people want to lose weight, but don't really have the motivation or skills to do this. All the women look in mirrors saying that they want to change this, change that, but they really don't know where to start, and they're always like, oh, I don't have time to do this is too much work, and whatever excuse they may come up with. Well, I wanted to lose weight myself, and I wanted the motivation too, so this was the goal of my senior project, was to get this motivation and knowledge of nutrition and fitness in order to help other people and myself. The goal of my senior project was to help people get motivation to be healthy and realize you cannot do the same training as others. There were 3 main points to my senior presentation, which is the procedure in progress, the explanation, and what I have learned. First off, in order to do my senior project, I had to pick a mentor. Quasi Boltley was the one that I picked, and he is a personal trainer at Upper Level Fitness. He owns and operates his own business. He has also trained me previously for a couple years, and he also trains other athletes and people of all different ages. He's also a very good motivational speaker and helps people get really the motivation just to do things that you normally couldn't do yourself. First off, my process and my product. What I was going to do was do this nutrition and fitness plan in our high school. But after talking to Quasi, he said that the teenagers probably aren't as reliable as adults would be since they have so much going on. So I decided to go with what he said and do it with adults. My mom, who also personal trains other people at her house, I decided to use the girls that she trains as my sort of pets on this. So they decided to help me out with my product, and they went forth with my project. My explanation of my project was that I was going to give people a nutrition and a fitness plan for 3 weeks, and if they wanted, they could go beyond it. And so they all agreed to. And what I did is I kept a journal, and I wrote down how their weight started off with, and after each week I put down their weight and if they did anything wrong or what they did right and how to improve on it or stay the same. And I also recorded their goal at the end of 3 weeks. And most of them said that this really helped with them to help keep on track and keep motivated. Also, I kept notes in my journal that I had meetings with Quasi where he helped me and trained me with nutrition and fitness facts, and he helped me explain more things further to the girls that if he wasn't there to help me with, I could do it on my own. I also learned a lot from Quasi, and the first thing that I learned was that you cannot starve yourself. You need to eat every day and at least 3 meals a day. Because if you don't eat, your body thinks it's starving and that food will go into storage as fat. Also, that you need a cheat day. So if you are going to have a cheat day on Friday, let's say, you shouldn't probably eat that cookie Monday because you will have the motivation to wait and say, oh, I'm eating that chocolate Friday. I'm not going to go and eat that Monday. Also, your diet plans should be foods that you like. You shouldn't totally deprive yourself on everything that you like just to lose weight. If you know that a salad is not going to make you full or you don't like it, don't put that on your diet. You could have pasta, but just not as much as you usually do. You want to have a little portion of pasta. Also, during exercises, you need to shock your body. You cannot do the same exercise every day. Say if you go on the treadmill one day and do weights, the next day you shouldn't go on the treadmill and do weights. Maybe go on the elliptical and do push-ups or sit-ups. You need to make sure that your body isn't in a regulation of what you're doing so that you could lose as much weight as possible. Some facts that I got were that these are daily intake facts for about a 2,000 diet. And it's 2,400 milligrams of sodium that you should intake, 25 grams of fiber, and that if you eat more, if you exercise more, you can eat more. That means if you are on a 2,000 calorie diet, that you could go to the gym and burn 900 calories, which means that you could now eat 2,900 calories because you have decreased the amount that you have taken in. This website that I have found, I showed to the women in my mom's class that I was training, where you could calculate all your calories and your fitness intake, and you add in what you eat. Say you did eggs in the morning, you could type it in, and it will pop up, and you could put the serving size when you did it, and if you ate this, put that, and it subtracts it from your calorie intake. It'll show you how much you consumed and how much you burned. Say for fitness that you ran a certain amount of miles. Or we're not even animals. It'll show how much you burned, and it will take it away from how many calories that you intake. You could also add how much water consumption you took, and you could change your calorie intake if you want to lose weight. And it also shows the different cholesterol, fat, sodium, carbs, sugars. It modifies each one down to a little individual so you know each intake that you're taking. And this really helped them in order to take track of what they were eating and what they were doing too much of and how to minimize it down. It'll show each individual thing of what they need to stop eating. The benefit of my senior project was the motivation and knowledge that I needed to learn in order to help these women, and I really got it from Quasi. He really helped me, and he called me whenever if I needed help, if I was okay, and he really gave me a lot of knowledge to help these women. Also, my development was now a better understanding of nutrition, where I was more comfortable explaining to the women about nutrition and other people, and I'm even comfortable with myself now on how to proceed into fitness and nutrition. And what I got out of this project was motivation myself and knowledge to further explore nutrition in college. Thank you.
There's a question.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yep.
Rachel, I was just wondering whether you met your goal of weight loss. You mentioned that at the beginning of your speech.
Yeah.
Can you tell us all about how much you lost, or if you're happy with your loss?
Yeah, I didn't actually write it down in my journal. I kind of just kept track in my head, but I actually lost 10 pounds in 2 weeks from just minimizing all the fat food out, because I would eat carbs so much every day, 3 pieces of bread, and I just minimized it down to a couple things, and I actually lost a lot of weight from just what Quasi was telling me about.
So it's 10 pounds in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
You had to add that.